What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Scythe, and we are back again for some more Astroneer, and this game is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I mean, I know it's kind of dark and a low poly and everything like that, but I love it, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hope you've been enjoying the new series as well, folks. If you have been, be sure to hit that like button. Helps me out more than you know. Now, I do want to show you this here because I kind of ventured out only a little bit further, and I found this insanely huge pocket of resin. Like, seriously, I've got so many different stacks of it. It's absolutely insane. I'm gonna waste our organics on the generator right there just so we can get some of the extra resources, and we've got some compound right here as well. So I'm gonna get rid of this organic, grab this other resin, and then most of all, we were in the last episode we ended up doing a little bit of caving, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Ended up also finding some crazy research stuff. So I'm really hoping that we can already start getting into some of the other stations here, but it might take a little while. I'm going to throw that into our pile of compound. And then also, I was trying to craft another station here because that's what we really needed was, what was it? We got a vehicle bay, fuel station. Oh, we got a storm rolling in too. The printer, I think, was the other big one that we were still missing, isn't it? Oh boy, yeah, that's coming in. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna end up skipping this, but this is the storm, which is very, very deadly, especially deadlier once we get to some of the other planets, but that'll end up coming along, that'll take a while. So what these storms end up doing is kind of just passing through over the planet on a set path. Usually they'll attack your first camp just because the game wants to make it interesting, right? And all those rocks that are generating around, they could end up hitting us in the head and killing our character, right? So that's why we gotta be very careful about it. And usually you can just dig a nice little hole underground and just wait it out, but otherwise we're gonna wait it out just in our pod right here, despite the fact that he leaves the door wide open. There we go, it's going off in the distance and looks beautiful while it does it, by the way. So now we needed one more station. I think anyways, I don't think we have enough resin for this last one, do we? No, we only have one. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go and get a little bit more. But otherwise there is a printer, which we can't actually make that right now. We can't make a lot of it right now because we don't have enough copper, which we should be able to find that relatively quickly. You know, we ended up generating a very big cave underneath us. And also, just for starting players, just a little pro tip I ended up finding here. We didn't end up doing that in this file. We didn't need to do it. But generally speaking, you should be able to just dig kind of a pathway straight down from your home base, and you're going to be able to find a cave very, very easily. Like, no matter what, it just kind of seems to always generate like cave systems all over the place on the starting planet. Not so much on not so much on some of the other ones, just from what I can tell. Oopsie daisy. Let's actually grab that organics right here. And you know what? Yeah, let's use it to charge up our batteries right now, because we're going to use a few of them back here, hopefully. I honestly don't even know if we need another base right here, because we might actually already have all the stuff constructed that we need. I don't know whether or not, let me know in the comments if you know, folks. I don't know whether or not you can actually delete any of these. That's one problem that I've ran into, which I really don't know. So we got a fuel condenser, research, smelter, vehicle bay, trade platform. That was the other extra one. Okay, so we're gonna have to keep this around, and if we luckily end up finding any blueprints to more bases and stuff like that, for sure. But otherwise, yeah. So you know what we're gonna try and do? Let's see what we can use the titanium for. If anything, don't know if we use that so much on ourselves. So we could get the oxygen tank. Okay. So I guess that is definitely something worthwhile, because it means that we can store extra oxygen, and unlike the batteries, this is going to be a lot easier for us to actually charge up because, you know, the battery, very self-explanatory. But we're going to keep this second one right here because I think we need titanium to construct some of the vehicles. I could be wrong about that, though, folks, honestly speaking. But do we end up going caving again? I think I want to stay on the surface for today. So let's actually drop off our resin here. Get some of this down here. By the way, if you hear any of the noises in the background and stuff like that, the wind is actually going insane right here. I'm actually hoping that I don't end up running into a power outage or something. Now I'm going to be paranoid about that throughout the whole video. But yeah, let me just craft ourselves a couple tethers here. And then we should be good to go. Make sure that we keep at least one organic with us, which shouldn't be a problem anyways. But I want to start venturing out in this direction, kind of explore a little bit more of the surface, see what we end up having. We could end up going over to that cave, but honestly speaking, we're going to be doing a lot of caving anyway, so it doesn't really bother me that much. We don't really need to spend that much of our time going into the caving or anything like that. Not yet, just because we're gonna be in there a long time. Like, there's gonna be lots to do in the caves. Okay, so let's see if we can actually get anything out in this direction. Maybe, I don't know. Got some extra oxygen, some more resin. Lots of resin on this planet. I can't even believe it. We could also, you know what, let's do it. Let's see if we can get a nice vantage point here. Hopefully we don't end up generating into the ground, because that likes to happen a lot. Okay, so do we have anything around? Oh, there's another, there we go. That's nice and huge pod over there. Oh my goodness gracious. So I guess we're going in that direction instead. So let's actually grab this extra tether. This one as well, because while there is this resin out here, which is very, very handy, I'm going to try and venture out in this direction like this. And we'll see whether or not we can actually get to this ship, and hopefully we'll be able to actually find some copper on it. I think that would be great. There goes our last tether. Do we have any extra compound? No, we don't, but we do have the extra oxygen, so honestly speaking, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna be okay. So much resin. I can't even believe it. This is the planet of resin. Like, seriously, there's so much around. Okay, here's some extra oxygen. This is gonna end up working out perfect. Okay, this is great. So there's another pocket of oxygen as well. Something that we can research as well. That's going to be nice. Okay, so let's put that big pot on the ground behind us over there. Is this another thing to research? No, that's just a bunch of rocks and stuff. Okay. You can't actually go inside these pods, though. So this might take a little while for us to end up doing here. Gotta be very careful. Ooh. Ooh. We ended up generating a seat. That's gonna come in handy, because while we can actually craft those ourselves. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, while we can actually craft those seats ourselves, we don't necessarily... Nice! We got 2 copper. We don't need to actually, like... now we don't need to waste the resources. You know what I mean? So... That's going to end up being very, very helpful for us. Ooh, but unfortunately, what? I'm going to have to carry both of these all the way back. All right, I guess that's what I'm going to do right now then. Aha, but we did end up finding some compound, which hopefully we're going to have enough extra space for all of this stuff. I want to see here. Let's actually do this. Then we'll use the compound, make ourselves some tethers. Which we're slowly losing oxygen, but that's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not going to die. And here's another thing that we can end up doing is leaving a bunch of tethers down while we're heading back to base, which this way we're going to be able to line these tethers up with our other ones, right? But now I still got to set up and bring all these things back to home base here. Oh, isn't that handy? I didn't know you can actually just press T twice to drop the tether and actually grab another one. So that's actually not too bad. Well, we're gonna run into a little bit of issues with it, but yeah, that's actually a really good thing. Now, the other thing too that is very scary about the planet that we got generated here is because there's so many caves near the beginning and so many like giant chasms, I really gotta watch my step, because otherwise I keep getting really, really close to just falling in them. Pretty cool though. I definitely do really enjoy this game, and I'm hoping you're all enjoying it as well. Now, we can scan this, and then we've got 2 copper. So what did we need that for? We can make the fuel station, which I'm not too, I'm not too excited about the fuel station. We'll make the printer. What did we get here? Crane? Crane? Really? I can only assume that the crane is going to be from the printer, right? That would just make sense to me, because if it's from the printer, it means that we could actually have the crane put on a vehicle, and then we could use that for, I don't know what. That's kind of exciting. I honestly have no idea what that is. Okay, let's get ourselves a little bit of organics here. get this generator going and see if we can actually see what we can end up constructing now that we actually do have the printer, because now we can just construct all sorts of things because this is only going to take power, right? So that'll be really, really useful for us. Okay, let's see. Solar panel. So the solar panel, most of the things in the 3D printer, I guess we'll call it that, right, is going to end up taking 2 slots. So this solar panel is going to end up taking 2 compound rather than just the one that we can have for our person, and is going to be very, very efficient for generating power for all of these structures and stuff. So that'll kind of be like a long-term goal, is to kind of get these things all as efficient as possible. Storage is one of the most important things that we're going to go for. We actually get to store 8 items on this thing, and you can actually use that on a rover as well, meaning that we could go out and have 8 extra storage units while having all of our oxygen and stuff on ourselves. The wind turbine, self-explanatory, we use that to end up generating power on these things as well. But you can also use it to generate power on the vehicles as well. Big time battery, that's just going to be so that we can have some overpower, which actually wouldn't be too bad. It's not like we're going to use our lithium. I want to see how much we actually have. We only have 1 extra lithium as far as I can see. Maybe we got another one somewhere else that I didn't notice. Then there's the generator. The generator is not going to be very useful for us for quite some time because it actually uses coal. It's going to be the same as our tiny generator right here. Of course, it's just going to make a lot more energy and be a lot more efficient, but it takes coal, which is very hard resource to come by. I don't even know if it spawns on this first planet. There's our habitat, so we could actually start constructing some other bases, which would be useful for us for sure. That would still, you know, and it's considerably cheap. There's the 1 seat, which would take more compound. We didn't need that though, and the solar panel. So that means that other thing that we ended up just getting was actually not from the 3D printer. That's kind of exciting, but kind of curious at the same time. Was it something that we could construct out of this? Very much doubt it. Solar panel, battery tethers. No, it's not out of there. So let me see. Maybe we can get another one of these stations going here, but I'm going to try and build this one out a little bit. At least we've got tons and tons of resin. So yeah, you know what though, folks? I'm just looking at our time here, and the fact of the matter is that I gotta go and collect as much resin as possible. And while resource gathering is definitely part of what this game is, I don't want to spend too much of our time doing that. You know, it's very relaxing to end up doing it on our own, doing it on my own as well. Now, not to mention also, like, I know that there's these little pockets and all these resources that I'm just leaving all over the place rather, you know, and making it so that I have to go and farm up some more, even though it's all right at the base. Like, even all the compound, what am I even doing? We don't need compound. We've got plenty of it. But yeah, I'm going to go and grab some resin. And then I'm going to try and construct and optimize our base a little bit more so that we can kind of see what's going on. Oh yeah, there wasn't any resin over here. It was way off in the other direction. Well, rip me. Thanks for watching though, folks. We're going to call it here. So thanks so much for watching again, just because why not? Very much appreciate it though, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sign on and stay epic, everybody.